So, Mesa can shieldgate in her Peacemakers. That is ridiculous. Uh, I've been losing my shit over this for the entire day since I've discovered it. I believe I discovered it like yesterday evening, and yeah, this is absolutely crazy. So turns out that because you can activate her ballistic battery during her Peacemakers, you can regenerate shields that way. But last time I tested it, if any single soul here ever did it, Brief Respite did not work for her. And it didn't, in fact, work for her. It doesn't work because Brief Respite on Mesa is bugged, and as soon as you activate Peacemakers, the aura gets disabled for her entire skill set. Like, none of her skills will activate this aura. None of them. And I assume people thought the same for Augur mods and just didn't even bother to test it. And, like, there is a good reason why we as a community have been totally sleeping on this for the past 6 years. And I actually even have a timeline mapped up. Mesa has been around for a long time, right? And she's been, I think, around since 2014 or something. And shieldgating came out in 2020, and before that we only had to rely on her third ability alongside with adaptation, which released sometime after Mesa came out, yeah, years later. But it was still a good, already reliable source of survivability on Mesa, and it was an easy to maintain gameplay loop, survivability stuff wise, and like damage wise, she could kill level 40 enemies, and people were just like fine with it, right? Shieldgating came out at around March of 2020, and with it, I believe what happened is people may have tried it, but because of the shieldgating requirements of that time, we had to fill our entire shield bar in order to have a full 1.3 second shieldgating window. Otherwise, we would be slapped with 0.33 second one. And before that, catalyzing shields did not exist. They came out 3 years later. So Brief Respite did not work on Mesa. And even if people tested and realized that Augur mods worked for her, back then it absolutely did not matter because the requirement for filling the shields was way higher than all three of those mods could possibly give her. So of course, people just completely disregarded that and did not even bother to retest it years later because the Steel Path came out on July 8th, 2020, and it obviously resurfaced the issue that Mesa is not good because back then she was struggling against level 40 enemies, base enemies. What's to say about Steel Path? So obviously Mesa got benched, and a lot of Warframes struggled with Steel Path on release initially, to be fair, because nobody was ready for that. And to solve that issue, the Helmet system came out on August 25th, 2020, which brought us Roar, which people immediately slapped on Mesa because her 1 was, well, a clearly subsumed slot. Her third was a reliable source of survivability. Her second gives her a consistent, albeit very small, but still a damage buff. And her 1 was not useful for shieldgating if people even bothered trying it back in the day. And I'm sure some people don't even know that you can activate it in her 4. I know a lot of people are not aware of this. I've talked with a lot of them. Nobody knows about this. So people obviously subsumed Roar over her 1, and that resulted in people never actually bothering to retest this skill ever again, even after it received a buff. A rework became a one-handed action. Whatever happened with this skill did not bother people at all. And years later, in 2023, when Dagoth, Abyss of Dagoth came out, yeah, and Catalyzing Shields came out, which solved the issue of insufficient shield gating. Like we had to fill a lot less shields. Now a single shield was enough for a maximum 1.33 second shield gating and vulnerability. But people obviously did not have Mesa's 1 anymore, so they didn't even bother testing because it was already a build that was checked by time, proved itself usable, and people just declared that okay, Mesa can survive on base steel path, she can kill base steel path pretty well, and that's it. Mesa cannot go above steel path, and that's not what she was designed for, or whatever other things people kept telling themselves. And I saw like 2 to 3 videos maybe back in 2020 when people put Ivara's quiver, specifically the cloak arrow, over Mesa's 1 in order to give her invisibility so that she could survive much higher levels than she could previously tank with her 3rd plus adaptation. But it was like 3 videos. I think Grindhard Squad put one out, and I don't remember who the other 2 were. And that was it. Like that was it. That was the first time that Mesa kind of got a glimpse of level cap enemies, but that back then she obviously did not have as much damage as she does right now. And as for how much damage she does right now, and what this implies, like that she can shield gate in her 4, it allows us to drop all the armor shards on her. All 3 Umbral mods are no longer necessary. She no longer needs Arcane Persistence, and she no longer needs Gloom in order to survive any level of enemies, because she is no longer a Persistence Warframe. She was never meant to be one, right? But that's just something that I've been doing since Persistence came out. Turns out it was not even necessary at all. And yeah, if you may remember, back in the day, best build for Mesa was to put Nourish over her 1, have Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger for Hurricanes alongside with Velocity, because Nourish kind of acted as an Energize, and use Zeneric to replenish her energy in between her ultimates. And later, like the red shards for crit chance on secondaries came out, and then they were get upgraded to the Topaz Archon shards, which gave Mesa about 245, I believe, crit chance at max stacks. And then people realized that there is a Darza, which gives her also extra 60% final crit chance, and then Tenacious Bond also added on top of that. And then Ceramic Dagger Incarnate came out alongside with Secondary Outburst, and that could be stacked with her Regulators back in the day, which allowed her to get 180% crit chance and crit damage on her secondaries, resulting in very, very big crit chance. And all of that has been completely power crept ever since 1999 came out and brought us Secondary Enervate, which completely eclipses all of that crit chance scaling that Mesa had, which had been nerfed, Ceramic Dagger at least, and Secondary Outburst, because she's now required to run Arcanes on her Regulators themselves. Enervate gives you red crits for free. No kills, no stacks required, no anything. There is no caveat to this Arcane, it just works, and it allows her to get rid of crit chance mod and put more fire rate and multi-shot, and it is a lot more DPS. And that completely frees up her shards for strength ones, since they are the second best ones. Well, before they were the second best ones, now they are the best ones. And it also allows her to finally run whatever companions she needs. So she can finally run Nautilus, who will indirectly increase her KPM by gripping enemies up. Also has a very good prescript to keep you alive by replenishing her shields every time 10 enemies with 3 size effects are killed. And it will also give her even more survivability by running Tazakor with Shivering Contagion, so that it could freeze a bunch of enemies around her and she would have to shieldgate a lot less. All of that is absolutely amazing. Those buffs that she received are crazy. Not to mention that, yes, now, because she can shieldgate, she can run any helmet ability onto the level cap. Whatever you want, you may bring it. Roar is her best damage buff. It is about 30 to 50% better as a final damage buff compared to Nourish for her, despite Nourish like kinda giving some raw damage stuff. No, Roar is better even raw damage wise. I'm not even gonna talk about those millions of DOTs from hit procs. And Zata is a little worse, but it's kind of a niche thing. Do not try Blast Zata Mesa, it's ass. And you can also bring Bright Bonnet on her, which I am currently waiting to be available. And it will allow her to regenerate basically 40 energy per second and have 480% power strength. Pretty funny, right? Infinite energy out of your ass plus 500% power strength. If that ain't fun, I don't know what is. Also requires no operator maintenance, unlike Roar, which, well, kind of appreciates having Zenrik in between her ultimates. So yeah, shieldgating Mesa goes hard. And we as a community have created the strongest psy-op for ourselves, which everybody believed in for the past 6 years just because nobody bothered to fact check it even once. I've been scrolling Reddit threads today and I've scrolled through the years worth of Mesa posts and not a single one of them mentions that she can shieldgate. I just found one thread today where a person asked how do we feel about Mesa, and one quote-unquote Mesa main replied that she feels fine, just put 5 Tau Forged Topaz Archon shards on her, and health tank with her 3rd plus adaptation. That is today! And I saw a bunch of videos on Mesa builds, and none of them talked about this. The first video I've seen yesterday, I believe, featuring Mesa's heirloom, had Nourish over her 1. Just so you understand that nobody knows about this, nobody's caught up on this, and it's crazy to me, because like the damage potential that she has is absolutely ridiculous right now, and she can survive on level cap enemies, yeah, sure, but what about killing them, duh? Well, guess what? Those guys have 4.5, 4.6 million health. Average level cap enemy has 7.7 million, less than double than that, about 50% more. That is nothing for her to chew through. Absolutely nothing, burger. She will destroy level cap enemies. Absolutely. Even like elite units having 25 million HP is nothing, because if she concentrates on a single enemy, gone within seconds. Yeah, what can I say? I strongly incentivize you to try out shieldgating Mesa. And I guess that's all I can say. And if you're interested in my fashion, for whatever reason, yeah, there it goes. You'll have to find another brown for yourself. Same thing here. Same thing here. The only different color is this. Peacemakers look like this. Same brown color. So yeah. Mesa has been like this for the past 2 years. It is a 2-year-old build. Just so you know. It was around since 1999. Update, not the year. I mean, but like, you get it. So yeah, hopefully more new stuff comes out and buffs her even more. Maybe Mesa Light retouch after the first 7 most Warframe needing reworks come out. We can only hope. Mesa is kind of lacking today, even despite all of this stuff that I just showcased. She still absolutely not a top tier frame. She's definitely outmatched by a lot. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. See you guys later. Bye.